Welcome to the Close the Chapter podcast. I am Kristen Boyce, a licensed marriage and family therapist with a private practice, Pathways to Healing Counseling. Through conversations, education, strategies, and shared stories, we will be closing the chapter on all the thoughts, feelings, people, and circumstances that don't serve you anymore and open the door to possibilities and the real you. You won't want to miss an episode, so be sure to subscribe. Welcome to this week's Close the Chapter podcast. I'm so grateful you are here with me. I know you might be in a season of transition, trying to heal from a breakup, a heartbreak, a betrayal. Maybe you are on a journey of discovering who you are, trying to sort through how did you develop these patterns in your life and wanting to break the cycle. In today's episode, we are focused on love addiction. There are several books about love addiction. Pia Mellody specifically kind of pioneered looking and researching love addiction, how it gets developed, which we know is going to root back to childhood. And I know a lot of times we don't like that. And we have to face that in order to heal it. So we break down what is love addiction? What are the symptoms? What are the patterns? And then how do we heal from obsessing over somebody, being preoccupied with how they feel, their body language, what they're going to do. And if you use this sentence, if they would just go to therapy, if they would just work on themselves, if they would just realize these patterns and where they came from, you might have a love addiction. So let me introduce you to my guest today. Dr. Etel Leit is a prominent figure in psychology, education, entrepreneurship, and the founder of Sign Shine, a family center based in Beverly Hills, holding a PhD in psychology and master's degree in leadership and education from Pepperdine University. Dr. Leit became an academic journey as a linguist after serving as a commander in the Israeli intelligence. She has a really fascinating background. She's written several books, and that's what drew me to her work. Unaddicted to You, which I'm linking in the show notes and in the newsletter. And she's written several children's books, and they're really geared towards when there's a divorce or a loss in a relationship. She also wrote the book, The Emotional Code. So we talk all things about how do we recognize that we might be love addicted? And this is our pattern, and it's causing us so much hurt, pain, angst, taking up our energy and time, and we feel stuck. So if this resonates with you, this introduction to this episode, listen to it. You might need to listen to it a couple of times, share it with friends, start a group. Maybe there's several friends that are struggling with this or family members. Let's face our pain. Let's face our patterns and break through so you can live a more centered, calming, clear, compassionate life for yourself. This isn't about the other person. This is about you finding healing and freedom. So I hope this episode is impactful and powerful and really life-changing. Truly, I hope it is. And I hope this podcast does that for you. So go back and listen to episodes. We have so many episodes at this point, and I just want you to know that you are important, you're loved, you matter, and you're enough. And that's a truth. That's the truth. We believe the lies in our heads with shame and that we're not worthy or unlovable, and it's just not true. So thank you for being here. And here is my episode with Dr. Leit. Welcome to this week's Close the Chapter podcast. This is a topic we have not jumped into, and I feel like if you have been in any relationship and you have felt like I cannot get over this person or I'm addicted to this person and it just is taking over, it's consuming all my thoughts, my feelings, my body, it has just run my life, then this episode is for you. We're going to be jumping into love addiction. So my guest today, I'm so grateful that she is on the podcast and she's here with us. Dr. Etel Leit, welcome to the Close the Chapter podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited because this one was meant to be today. And I know that because it took us some time and here we are. So I know Whoever is listening is supposed to listen to it today.
I feel the same exact way. I'm
Right?
like, there is a reason why you're listening to this right now in this moment, in this time. You have written many books, but the two that stuck out to me, 5 in total, which
Uh-huh.
congratulations, that's a feat in of itself. But the two that stuck out to me is The Emotional Code and Unaddicted to You. Tell us about your journey into being a therapist, psychotherapist, psychologist. Like, how did you even get into the field?
Yeah. So, I started with a family consultant. That's it. I had a mommy and me, daddy and me, family and me, and I started my career with people with consulting how to communicate with your babies. My first book was You're My Sunshine. When your baby is crying, what do I do? Slowly, I noticed that it wasn't really only about the babies and the children having miscommunication with the parents, but guess what? The parents themselves having miscommunication. And parents started coming to me and telling me about their issues and problems. And I thought, wow. And as you know, we are the wounded healer. I can only talk about myself. And I went through a love addiction. I was completely addicted to someone who had addiction to something else, but I was literally addicted to the person. My life wasn't about me. And I know many listeners will be like, oh my God, me too. But you don't really notice it. It's
Mhm.
slowly, you really think that you help someone else. You think that with, this person have to have your help. And slowly, you neglect yourself. And that's what I did. And in my work, I realized that I'm actually repeating my parent who I swore to God I'll never be like my mom, right?
Yes, you're like, never. I'll never repeat
Ever.
the patterns.
I'll never marry a guy. I'll never be. And really, I never married a guy like my dad, but I became really concerned and focused on my partner, just like my mom. And this is how my work shifted from being a linguist. I was actually a commander in the Israeli intelligence in Israel, into teaching languages at universities, into teaching and being in the family dynamics more with the children, into really concentrating on love addiction. And that's what I did my PhD. It's all about what happens to us when we are hyper focused on someone else.
Okay, we're jumping right on in
Yep.
because this is the
Yeah.
topic that everyone needs to hear about because we're never taught about this.
Right.
We never learn that, oh, I am obsessed with this person or I'm hyper fixated on this person, that I lose myself in the process. What are the signs? So someone says, hey, what are the signs of love addiction? Where do we start recognizing it?
Right. Let's even step back. What is addiction? Because if we understand what is addiction, then we know, oh, am I really addicted or am I loved? What is the difference? So I know there are so many kind of like definitions for addiction, but for me, addiction is when you obsess about something. So it's not only the dependency, it's not only about the physical dependency to something, which also we can see it in love addiction. It's a dependency on something that is outside of you. And you keep doing it, although there are at least, and we can name it, at least 5 repercussions of things that you're literally paying with. So one is emotional. You're paying it with your emotions because it's like your emotions are up and down depending if you have it or you don't have it. Then psychological. I mean, we know because we have these people in our studio. Financial. How many people are addicted, let's say, to gambling, shopping, gaming today, and it takes out of their finance? Okay. Social. When you start narrowing, and I have goosebumps when I say that. Every time that I say something, my body feels it. Because I remember the social part, you start kind of like isolate, or the person is isolating you, and it happens with any addiction. And of course, health-wise, physical. And I start my book with it. I actually went to a near-death experience when I completely forgot about myself and I start to be sick. And people that are addicted to something or someone, you can notice it because usually they have belly problems, head problems, something is going on, but they don't even look at it. So addiction is being completely obsessing about something, not only physical dependency, obsessing constantly on something and keep doing it, although there are more than 3 or 4 repercussions to it. And you keep doing it. And it's like red alert, and you're still doing it. So that's my definition. Whoever is listening and thinking, oh my God, yes. This is it.
Yes. Okay. So we've defined love addiction. And then what are some of the symptoms? Like, how did you
Right.
recognize I'm repeating the pattern I did with my mother?
I didn't. I really didn't. As I said before, I thought that I'm there to heal someone else. I'm there to heal love. That I'm there like the saint. I'm going to love this person because, and I gave all these excuses. They can't do it. They're not there. And that's what people, if any listener are thinking about it, we give excuses to the person that we are addicted to. And then we're obsessing. It's obsessing. The wheels on the bus go round and round, right? We're obsessing about it. And then we are neglecting ourselves. I didn't notice until I found myself on the bathroom floor. I didn't find myself. My ex did, actually, the father of my kids, on the bathroom floor with a heartbeat of 21 going down to 19, and the paramedics came to save me. On the outside, it looked that I had something physical. I had a bacteria, but from the inside, I remember I didn't want to leave anymore. I was just like nothing. All of my life was about, does he love me? He doesn't love me. Did he pay attention to me? He doesn't pay attention to me. Are we good? Are we not good? Is he moody? Oh my God, what happened to me? It's all that. So for me, it had to be a rock bottom. Just like with drug addiction or gaming addiction, a real rock bottom when you're like, what are you choosing? You, life, or the person, or the addiction?
So it took you down. I mean, you were near death.
Yeah.
You
I
then
was in
had
the
this
hospital.
awakening. And then is that when you realized, I have completely lost myself? Is this
Right,
cost?
not even. So I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, connected to all machines because my heart couldn't go up over 35. I left and I knew something is wrong. Again, I didn't know what it is, but I sensed something is wrong. I can't live my life like that. It took me another, I think 2 years, almost 3, to realize that I need to separate myself. And again, I'm not telling the listeners that they have to separate. This is not the answer for everyone. People come to my studio and we work and we're going through not only talk therapy, but I have many modalities. Sometimes the answer is leave. Sometimes is the answer stay. But for both of them is take care of you. Look at you. And we're going to talk about what happens when you're hyper-focused on someone else. And then I remember I was driving through, I live here in Beverly Hills and we have the cemetery of the veterans. And I was driving one day and I looked at the cemetery and I thought, this is how you want to end up your life, like that? And the answer was so clear. No, I need to do something. And from that on, I just knew that I need to concentrate on me, which meant back in our relationship, leave the relationship because it wouldn't fit. It couldn't live together when I looked at myself when the other one is so concentrated on him. So I had to leave. A lot of sadness, a lot of grief, which is also something that people that are addicted to love are kind of like afraid of the grief, of what's going to happen, right? I don't know how to deal with the grief. So I stay because the grief looked like I'm losing myself.
Yes. Okay. So you had this realization. You are losing yourself. You look at the gravesite. You're like, I do not want my life to end up like that. And that's where I'm headed. So you started to rumble through the reality. You are so consumed with this other person. So it's like a consumption of all parts of yourself.
Exactly. And as I said, addiction, any addiction. So anyone that is listening, I opened this gaming addiction for families, which is a worldwide group, which is free. It's completely free of meetings. Any addiction, people think it's about the thing. It's about the person. It's not about that. It's the obsession. If they will come, what do I do? What do I do? Sitting at night and repeating this conversation, really thinking that a conversation are real and going back and forth. And what if the same thing with drugs? Should I take it? Shouldn't I take it? Only in the weekends. What's going to happen? Only a little bit. Whereas it's the obsession. It's the obsession of the mind that doesn't give you serenity. When you don't have serenity, you can't really attend to you because all you do, you attend to something that is outside of you to connect to something that is illusion, right? And I know I'm talking big now, but that's what happened. And that's what happens to people with obsession, with addiction to love. It's all about the person. And if this person is going to be good, what's going to happen? I'm going to feel right. If only the person will fill in the blank. Let's give example. We have it in our clients without revealing their information. If only the person will be nice to me. If only the person will quit drinking. If only the person will help me with the market. And then we're starting about what they will do or won't do so I can feel serene.
Then we rationalize. I think you said something really powerful that I want to really touch on. We rationalize. So, well, they had a bad childhood. Well, they have a lot of trauma in their life.
Yes.
Well, they didn't know better because they didn't have parents that showed them that. Well, they just need therapy. And then if they just had therapy, then we'll be better. And they can show up for me because they're healing that inner child wound. These are things I hear. What are some of the things you hear that rationalize and justify, because that holds on to hope that this
Yeah.
person's going to change.
Yeah. And it is the hope. I'm not putting down anyone. It's this hope that if this person is going to change, it's only a little thing. And it's rationalized, like you said, it's only a little thing. If they will understand, then I will be good. How many couples come to me and they insist, please fix this person, please tell them. So I know it's not in any psychology books, and you will hear it if you hear my other podcast and in my books and in my writing. I call it the monkey talk. I also have it in my TEDx. I did a TEDx back in September, which I'm so excited. I don't check, but it's about 3.3 million views so far, which is unbelievable. And I talk about the monkey talk. So the monkey talk goes like that.
Mhm.
He. And it's she, he. They come to me. He did, and he did, and he did, which is okay in the beginning of therapy, because there is a low that we want someone to hear us, that we want to be understood, that we want to be seen, that somebody listen to us. But there is a timeline when the he talk, the monkey talk, is not going to work anymore, okay? Because it turns into, I'm a victim. Please change the other person. So there is a time when I say, okay, we did the monkey talk. It's great. I'm listening. And of course, I give a feedback. But right now, it's a time to look on me, on myself. What's going on with me? This excuses or this irrational that you're giving, if only he will do it, it will be better. For example, like you said, he had a trauma, a real severe trauma. If he will understand it, and it always goes like that, if you understand it, our life will be great. Please convince him. I had a couple, God bless, I love them. The wife came to me in the beginning. She's like, I got him the Ozempic shot. Please convince him to do it, because if he will take it, he will be happy with himself. That was the thing.
I know. This is the thing.
I
It happens.
I had to convince, and it really is. She was convinced that if he will lose weight and he will feel better about himself, then she will feel better about the relationships, and on and on and on. And it will thing. And then when you understand that it's really not about the person, if you're serene and you, as a mature person, decide if this is for me, and more, why do I attract people? Tell me, it's the same person. Why do I keep attracting the same person into my life? And then I get addicted because this is how I define myself. And then again, and then again. Now we can even go deeper into I love when you talked about the inner child, because I do a lot of inner child work.
Love it. That's my favorite work to do, because I think that's where it really lies in the healing journey. And how do you define inner child? And then how is it connected to love addiction?
So remember, I really think that my journey in career really took me into what I am today. So beginning, I told you I was a linguist, and I was born in Jerusalem, and I've seen many religions and many languages, name it. It's there. It's in Jerusalem. Sometimes when people ask me, so where are you from? I say, I'm a holy chick. Right? And I always ask myself as a child, I'm like, how come there's not one language? One language for all? Isn't it be easier? And it's exactly about relationship. There is no one language of how to express love or how do I want love. I always assume that I want to show love, like I want to get love, but it's different. But I know that one thing is universal for all. All of us are born and we all want to be seen and to be loved. All of us. When a baby is born, if this baby is not going to be held, literally, he's not going to survive, period. When I was a child, my mom used to work in a hospital, and I used to go and volunteer. I was 16 and 17 and hug babies that unfortunately the parents left in the hospital because all sort of physical or emotional of the parents. They left them in the hospital until someone came and adopt them. And I used to go and hug them. And today they're a volunteer. It's called baby huggers.
Yes.
Because if these babies are going to be in the incubators, it's great, but they need a physical touch. We all need this. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. That's the inner child work. And we all taking it in our adulthood. When you're not seen, when you're not heard, it will actually manifest itself in your relationship, because you have this craving of see me, look at me, hear me. I'm here, need me.
Want me.
Want me. Thank you. And then we create this love addiction, right? Which is, I am so addicted and obsessed about this person, because without this person, literally, remember what I said about the baby? I'm dead. I don't exist. It's literally a matter of, like, that's what happened to me. And many, many people, they create this health problem. So I'm not here. So it's the illusion that I'll die. I mean, how many songs are written of like, I'll die without you? It's not funny, right? By the way, that's the name of the book, Unaddicted to You. It's created on a song, Addicted to You.
Yes.
All the songs, I'll die without you.
Mm-hmm.
this is real. It's love addiction is a real sense of, if you're not going to give me this, I see you, I want you, I need you, I'm not going to survive in this world.
And people hold on for so long because they're afraid. Like, I'm afraid to be alone. I'm afraid I can't take care of myself, and the grief, like you talked about. So they hang on. Talk about like living in almost like a non-reality. It's like they've created this illusion, delusion of what they think this person, they have good qualities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they don't want to accept the person as they are. And I'm like, no changes. Let's say this person never changes.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay with them? They're like, no, I can't imagine my whole life. And I'm like, well, so how do you help people pull back the curtain? It's like the Wizard of Oz, where you pull back the curtain and you're like, the reality is that's Oz behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Not this great, magnificent. So where do we begin?
I love your metaphor. I actually went to, we just see Wizard of Oz in the Sphere of Vegas.
Wow. I bet that was amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Something up with the production, but it's great. I love your metaphor. I love it. And I'm going to continue with this metaphor and I'll go back. How do you pull the curtain?
Yes.
So in the end, when Wizard of Oz gave the heart to the Tin Man, right? He gave him a heart and he said, I'm going to give you a heart, but a heart is not how much you can love. It's how much you allow others to love you. I cried. This is the essence of love addiction and therapy, because you can love others forever, or love the illusion, or love the picture that you want to be, or love the moments, because I'm not saying that every time the person is not amazing as they are, but how much you really allow first yourself to love you as you are, with the wrinkles and the pound and your being upset or running away, or that's what relationship is, and how much you allow other to love you exposed the way you are. That's the essence. And I'm going to show you what I do in therapy. Oopsie. I have it in all of my therapy. So I have a magnifying glass and I have a mirror in a heart shape. And it's a chapter in my book that it's called Put Down the Magnifying Glass and Pick Up the Mirror.
And this is the book Unaddicted to You. Just to make sure we're clear on which book. Yes.
Because this is the beginning of Unveil the Curtain. When I recognize that I pick up the magnifying glass all the time, hyper-focused on somebody else, she, he, and I put it down, and there is someone to be accountable for, because we are as therapists, we help the person. And I pick up the mirror, which is beautiful, which sometimes it's not beautiful, but I pick up the mirror. I'm accountable to my actions, to my choices, to who I am, and not blaming someone else on my choices. That's the beginning of unveiling. So it's not really about the other person. It's about me. Right? Okay. Hi, little Etel. Oh, you're there. And I do a lot of visualization and hypnotherapy, which is part of it. A lot of writing, many modalities in my therapy to get to know, who am I? Right? Not putting down this little girl who was neglected, who was not seen. Or for me, I was really type A personalities. Many people with love addiction are type A personalities because they're hyper achievers and they want to prove themselves of love. Let her play, let her dance, let her be. And then, wow, the change starts.
Yeah. And so you're working through the fear at the same time.
Yeah. It's scary.
Yes. Because that's what holds people back. I feel like they're so afraid. And so, what will I do without this person?
Exactly. Remember I told you it's social. It's not only one. People come like, what do I do? Financial. It's not only financial. And we really be opening it up. It's social. It's financial. It's physical, it's emotional, psychological. It's all these aspects of, okay, let's step by step. Like you said, I love it. Like unveil the curtain and see, okay, who am I? Can I do it with someone else? Or I'm so addicted because I don't have any worth without this person, right? And again, it doesn't mean to leave. Like I have another couple and she's like, what am I going to do? Because he's the financial provider. Okay, what am I going to do? We have the kids and da-da-da-da. Let's start with finding what would you like to do and go take a little class. Let's go take a little class. It doesn't have to be university because I have little kids, and find this spark of, it's like, I really don't know what I like to do. Oops. Okay, let's open that. Are you curious about it? Because you will ask this woman what is her husband likes to do. Oh, she will tell you everything.
Exactly. Everything.
Everything. What does she like to do? Usually it goes with, I don't know, being with the kids, cooking, shopping. but what is it that you like to create? Creation is really the beginning of who I am. So we start to create little. It doesn't have to be big. And everybody can create in their own rhythm or their own space. That's the beginning of it.
How about control? So love addiction
Oh, you
correlates
said it.
with control. Okay, so let's talk about how do those go together and how do we break through that pattern of control?
The illusion is that they control me. That's the illusion. And in addiction world, they actually call it your higher power. In religion world, there is one of the 10 commandments. I'm not religious, by the way, but I was born in Jerusalem, so traditional. One of the commandments is don't do yourself any other gods, right? So you can take it as a very literal, but really what it means is nobody can be your higher power. No human can be your God. Only you can find inside you your higher power. That's the connection to my inner child, but also on the same aspect is finding my wise self, my higher power, the one that knows, the person from the future, the wise person that tells me what to do. That's your higher power. So when we are addicted to something else, and again, it doesn't matter if it's substance or a person, we start idolizing this person and he's becoming our higher power, our God, someone else. And we are creating the illusion that they have the control, but all alone, we are trying to control the situation. So we are not going to be surprised by something. So we kind of like, oh, we know what to do if the person is going to change or be upset with us, or let's not talk about the narcissist. Let's shelve it for a second, but I want to talk about it. Remind me. So I'm always trying to be in control to kind of like gauge where I am emotionally, but it's all an illusion. We cannot control anyone else. One of my sentences is, you can't change anyone, and you complete it now. We can't change anyone unless
I can work on myself.
You can't change anyone unless they're wearing diapers.
Perfect.
Right? Can't change anyone unless they're wearing diapers. Anyone. That's it. So here you go. So all this control thing.
Yeah. Because you can only work on yourself. I mean, that's the end of the day. That's it.
And take accountability for your choices. How do you react? What do you choose? If I'm in this relationship, I chose it. Nobody chose it for me. Thank God we're living in a Western world and we don't live in any place that we have to get married or engaged to someone. My grandma was engaged to my grandpa when she was 1 year old. I'm not joking. When she was 13, she got married, 14, first child. I mean, he was everything. When he passed, amazing. When he was 94 and she was with him and he was way older than her. They were just merchant and she came from this very smart family. And the merchant thought, we need educating people in our family. And that's how they got married. But it's not today. We're choosing our partner. We're choosing. So you always have a choice and take accountability for what do you do.
Yes. Okay. So let's focus on for just a minute. If someone says in their minds, if you are consumed with somebody, you kind of obsess about them, you think about them a lot, and you think if they would just fill in the blank. If you start a sentence like that, would you say that's a sign? That's a red flag. If he would just, if she would just, because when I hear that, I'm like, yep, you got the magnifying glass and you're looking over to your right and you're going, well, wait a minute. And there's 3 fingers pointing back at yourself and you keep going back to him or her. It's really hard for people to turn that and put up the mirror. It's how do you help people put down the magnifying glass and pull up the mirror?
It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to do. So it's really coming. And I told you I was a commander in the Israeli intelligence. I have a dimple.
Wow.
I can smile, but I'm also very direct. My clients actually, they do sign with me a contract that I'm very direct. I have clients from all over the world. I have PhD in psychology. I'm not trained in one place because I would like to keep helping people all over the world. And I'm very direct. Also, my clients have a direct contact with me throughout the week, not including weekends. So if anything happens, they can, oops, I did it again. And I give them the permission. I love Britney Spears. I call it the oops, I did it again. Right? Oops, I did it again. Oh, okay. How did it feel to do it again? Oh, I went into the same cycle. Okay. Oops, I did it again. When you do that, oops, I did it again, it gives you a permission and you don't judge yourself. Because sometimes we do it because it's easier to self-loathe myself and judge myself rather than take accountability. I'm good with judging myself, self-love. Oh, I'm bad. I did it again. Is that feel good? That feel good to really shame and blame this inner child Would you like to keep being in this cycle, or would you like to look at this inner child and say, oh my God, look at her, look at him. He's waiting for your attention. And all along, you're giving someone else attention. So it's really a work of looking what happens to me when I keep going in the same, if only just how much I'm neglecting myself. Okay. I call it the 3 A's. I told you I have so many things. The three
Yeah,
A's
you do.
are,
I love it.
people come to me and they're like, okay, Etel, so what do I do? Literally, like, what do I,
Well,
why
they
come
want
to
the
you?
3 steps. Give me the
Right?
3 steps and I'll be in and out of here. And I'm like, well, that's not quite how it works. But
Yeah. They want
we'll
the
give you some
action
stuff.
plan.
Yeah.
What's the
They want
action plan,
yes.
Kristen? Can you give it to me? And like, no, before we're going to go to the action, there are 2 others. First is the awareness. Then is the acceptance.
Mhm.
Right. And then is the action. Because if I'm going to go into, okay, so what do I do? It's never going to work.
No.
No. You're going to cook this, whatever, one time. It's not going to work. You have to be a real awareness. What happens to me when I'm in this process of loving, idolizing, wanting to chase somebody else, right? And neglecting myself. Then the acceptance, it's not working. Oops, I did it again. It's not working. I'm picking up the magnifying glass again. I'm neglecting myself. I'm hurting myself, my kids, by the way, people that are addicted, it's not only about them. It's everyone around them. And then the last step is the action. Okay, so what do we do with it? So I just said people with addiction, they're not only hurting themselves, they're hurting everyone around them with any addiction, including love addiction. Their friends are miserable because they're tired of hearing the same story again and again and again and again and again. Literally, the kids can feel it in the house if you have kids, if someone with love addiction, because it's always the blaming and shaming. Everyone around them. And it's known in the addiction world, addiction is a family disease, family and friends disease. It's not only the person. Everyone around the person with the addiction is paying the price. And then you magnetize the same people who are just either playing the role of listeners and making you be the victim, or just like, where is this person going to stop?
So as we kind of wrap up, what are the takeaways for someone to say, okay, I want to take the next step. Okay, we've got a awareness, acceptance, and action. And they say, okay, I really want to work on the next step of my recovery. What would that look like?
Amazing question. I love it. Okay. The next step is find someone to be accountable to your recovery, not a listener to your victimhood. There is people that are addict or have love addiction. They will find people to listen to the victimhood like that. And if they're not, they're going to separate. Start to find people that are accountable to your recovery. Okay. Obviously, it can be a therapist, a coach, a program, a human, please not ChatGPT. Okay. And the reason of ChatGPT, it's amazing. It's really amazing. But when people start to be dependent on this, and that's all my book, my emotional code, right? When people start to do that, ChatGPT has one thing to make you feel great about what you're writing. It's not going to be accountable to you, right? You can train it to be, yes, you're right. So it's doing the same thing, being your victimhood listener. We don't want that. We want accountable, someone that will have you be accountable for your actions, choices, and help you pick up the real mirror, not the social media mirror, not the one that will tell you, yes, he is a narcissist. Remember I told you we're going to talk about it? Yes. So all this social media accounts that holding about narcissists, cut it off. You're just helping people to be more victims and more love addicts. It's drug dealers. It is love addiction drug dealers. Stop. Okay. Found the person to help you be accountable and a human that will look at you in your eyes, be very honest with you so you can be honest with yourself. And I'm telling you, look at me today. So I love dancing. I have the best relationship I could ever, ever, ever dream about, like literally. And we can have a whole podcast about what is healthy relationship. He's my king. I'm the queen. I'm the happiest that I could be. I published 5 books. I've been on TEDx. My relationship with my kids is amazing. I choose my friends. I look way younger than I looked back then, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I had a time that I had to collect quarters to go to the market with my kids. I'm not even joking. And I was in bed and I was crying and like, oh God, and I attracted this horrible man to my life. It wasn't easy, but I was ready to do one thing. And I had a few therapists, which are a phenomenon. That's what I'm doing today. And I went to a few programs and look at me today. So my real mission today is to help men and women and couples that are trapped in love addiction. So not only for the relationship, so they can live a better life. I mean, we are here to live. We are here to enjoy. We are here to give. We are here to breathe. And if you're concentrated and addicted to someone else, you're just wasting. And then you're teaching your children to do the same thing if you have children.
Yes. I think you said something really important that I want to circle back to. This whole social media with everyone saying narcissist, what that will do, I think this is really important that you said this, and I want to make sure I'm really saying this again. If you focus on that, you stay stuck, trapped, and disempowered because there's nothing you can do to change them. And you've picked up that magnifying glass again. I'm not saying education isn't helpful, but if you're addicted to listening to this, you're holding the magnifying glass up and you're not making movement forward. It's actually keeping you stuck in the same pattern because you're now wanting to hear that to make yourself feel better. And not to say can't be helpful at times, but if you're immersing yourself, you're changing that addiction, one addiction for another. It's all in the same vein though.
Said is golden. And in my TEDx, I call it shame, blame, complain. So you can do it for a minute. It's fine. The he, she, you can do it 5 minutes. But then if it's starting to be your focus and all of your feed is narcissist, and soon it's going to be sociopath. I know that because that's like, right?
That's the next step.
Yes. Shame, blame, complain. Shame, blame, complain. So what you said, it's really, really golden. I love that.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything we didn't cover that you felt like was important?
Oh my God, we can have another
I know. There's so much, right? But is there anything else that you felt like, as a takeaway, this is it? Anything you wanted to say? Or I feel like we covered a really good ground.
Yeah, what I want to give the listeners is really the hope, because I lived through it. The hope that no matter where you are today, because I know you're hyper-focused on someone else, and it doesn't matter if it's a feminine or masculine energy focused on one another, there is a hope because the world that you're going to crawl through this very narrow, dark place into the light, worth it. The subtitle of my book is Loving Yourself Through the Darkness. I can't promise you it's going to be easy. If it's easy, you're not going through that easy thing. And it's amazing because, I celebrate Hanukkah and it's all about the miracle of light. My last name is Light. So it's all about willing to be uncomfortable. Nobody changes sitting in Hawaii on the beach, sipping margaritas. No one. It's going to be painful. It's going to be hard. But when you do that, wow. This one I
Freedom
promise.
on the other side. Freedom on the other side. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. Where can people find you? I'm going to link your books in the show notes, but if someone's like, I love her, where can they find you?
So anywhere you type Etel Leit or Dr. Etel Leit, including go and watch my TEDx, because I'm going to give you the best thing how to actually, what is the secret for a healthy relationship? And I say, it's not I love you. There are 2 words that if you say to your partner, which is not I love you, this is what's going to save your relationship. So go and watch my TEDx. My books, I have many courses with stop hyper-focusing on love and how to manifest love, how to bring it from my 5 books on Amazon, TikTok, Instagram, what is it? LinkedIn, right?
Everywhere. You're everywhere. And we'll link it all in the show notes. So don't worry, and our newsletter. So we will link everything and where to find Dr. Leit. And thank you for your light in the world. And we're so grateful for you and what you're teaching and the vessel you are for people to find healing. Thank you so, so much. Thank you so much for listening to the Close the Chapter podcast. My hope is that you took home some actionable steps along with motivation, inspiration, and hope for making sustainable change in your life. If you enjoyed this episode, click the subscribe button to be sure to get the updated episodes every week and share with a friend or a family member. For more information about how to get connected, visit Kristen, Kristen, Boyce, Boice.com. Thanks and have a great day.